Hey there, are you trying to figure out how not to eat all that Halloween candy that you have bought for your trick or treaters? Is this really a struggle for you? We are going to talk about that today. Hey there, my name is Diana Lopez, and I am your bariatric dietitian at My Bariatric Adventure, the place where we guide you as you navigate the twists and turns of your bariatric adventure. Hey, I know that Halloween is the beginning of this whole holiday season, and for me in years past, it was the slippery slope into the holidays that caused me to gain weight. It was kind of the beginning, the catalyst to my weight gain through the end of the year. And I don't want that for you. And if you had weight loss surgery, you've been working so very hard. You don't want that for yourself either. So I am going to give you some tips of how to navigate through this Halloween season to make sure you don't gobble down all of those candies and treats that you have bought for your trick or treaters. So let's talk about that now. Okay, number one tip I have for you came from my own life and my own experiences. And my number one tip is don't buy it. Don't buy Halloween candy. Maybe that sounds a little bit of cold-hearted to you. I'm going to tell you my story with that. So a few years ago, before I really started dealing with my binge eating, I looked forward with glee to Halloween because that was the beginning and justification for my candy eating. I love sweets. I have always loved sweets, but this is the beginning of the season where I could justify eating whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. So I went down to Walmart and I bought one of those humongous bags of candy. You know, the ones that like they're so big, like they're the size of like a small child or even bigger. They're big enough like I have to hold the bag with both hands. And I bought that like a month before Halloween. And maybe you're here with me, but I opened up the bag and I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to have a little bit of candy each day. You know, there was plenty of candy in this bag." And guess what? I ate the entire bag before Halloween. I had to go out before Halloween and get another bag of candy. So and then when we had trick or treaters come, we had six trick or treaters. I had bought 20 pounds or whatever size bag of candy for six trick or treaters. So I realized, like, hey, this is not good for me. This is not healthy for me, not healthy for my family. So I just stopped buying Halloween candy. I don't know if that's horrible, but we just turn our light off. And my in laws live down the street. Sometimes we'll go and hang out with them. Sometimes we'll go to one of our neighbors' house and hand out candy with them. At least then we get to see everyone's cute costumes. My tip number two for you is if you have to buy Halloween candy, buy it at the last minute. I know there are all sorts of buy one, get one deals and all sorts of special things that start a month, 2 months before Halloween is even here. But if you have to buy Halloween candy, wait until the last minute. It's worth it paying a couple extra dollars just so that you don't eat, a couple extra pounds of candy. So consider that. Buy it at the last minute. Tip number three I have for you, don't open that bag early. So don't open that bag early because you, like me, you're probably bound to say, well, I can have one or two pieces. And if this is really a struggle for you, don't wait until the last possible minute to open that bag of candy. Or you can do like one of our members in the My Bariatric Adventure membership. We were talking about that this week, and she said what she does is that she wraps her candy up in the little Halloween cellophane treat bags before Halloween and then she stashes them away. Or you could have a family member stash them away for you so that you don't have access to them. So she says once they're wrapped up, there's something that happens in her mind that she knows those are for her trick or treaters and she's not going to eat them. So that may work for you. And then tip number four is hide the candy. So I do one of two things if I buy stuff like this. Like I'm short, I'm 5'2". So that a lot of times that sort of stuff goes in the pantry on the top shelf. My husband has a man cave, so it might go in the closet in his man cave. I'm just gonna put it somewhere where it's not as accessible. Maybe I put it in those cabinets above my refrigerator that I can't reach anyways. Or if you're real tall, maybe you put it in the lower cabinets where, when it's not in your direct line of sight, that helps so much to make sure you don't eat that candy. So that's something you can do. If it's really, really tough, maybe you have somebody else that hides the candy for you. So they put it somewhere and they don't tell you where it's at. They only get that out right when you need that candy for your trick or treaters. Or you can do what another member in our community does. She's got a cabinet that has a lock on it. And so there is that extra physical act of having to unlock that cabinet to get the goodies inside the cabinet, which often for her is something that stops her from taking that next step. So put it in some sort of cabinet where you can lock it up and not have access, and you actually have to stop before you take that next step. Sometimes that's all it takes to make us stop what we're doing, stop that behavior. And then number 5, my last tip for you is after Halloween is over, do not save that candy, give it away. Take it to work with you, have somebody in your family take it to work. If you go somewhere in the community, whether it's a soccer practice or to maybe you go to a church or community function, take that candy with you. There are always people that are more than happy to eat that extra candy that you have. Now, again, I'm not an all or none person, so I'm telling you these things because these are the things that worked for me when I was really, really struggling. If you're somebody that has more control, then maybe you can have these candies. Me now, I've got a drawer that I keep candies in. I keep some things in the freezer where I can just grab 1 or 2 pieces when I want them. So if you have more self-control, you can do something like that. But if you are really struggling, as you're figuring out how to rewire your brain around some of these foods that really are problematic for you, you may need to take them away for a while until you come up with a good plan. And work with your accountability partner or your group or your support group and share with them what you're doing and update them on your progress as well, because when you're part of a group like we have in the My Bariatric Adventure membership, we're talking about Halloween now. We're starting to talk about holidays now, and the women in our group are holding each other accountable and asking each other how they did. And I know for me, when I was struggling with recovery from my eating habits, from my eating disorder, it made all the difference in the world to have someone that was asking me those questions in a place where I could share my struggles. So I encourage you to do that. All right. Talk with somebody, get some help, get some encouragement, get some accountability to keep you on track through the next few months as we slide into this holiday season. So, hey there, those are my top 5 tips for you as you are getting ready for Halloween, trying to figure out how not to eat all that Halloween candy. If you need more help, in the description below, I have linked our top 5 strategies for success after weight loss surgery. So that's all I've got for you today. Make sure you subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, take care. See you soon.